All right, so my talking point is the balance between responsibility and accountability and authority between men and women. For that, I'm gonna use two different videos. The first of which is a clip from a panel from as you can see the title E. Dean Cole. I think this was his channel. So we're gonna start with that one. Let's go.
My perspective. You dig what I'm saying? Now, you mentioned something. You said that a man will never protect a liberated woman. I think that that is not accurate. I feel that a man is always going to protect a woman, period. Whether she is liberated or not, whether, like Sinful the Peace say, whether she in pocket or she out of bounds, either way it go, I'm still a capital MAN, 10 toes down. She's always going to be a woman. She's always the weaker vessel. Whether they want to admit it or not, they are. So when a man is in the presence, I'm not talking about a male, I'm not talking about a boy, I'm not talking about somebody that has men genitalia, but when an actual man is in the presence, a woman around him is always going to be protected, whether she wants to or not. So that's the second thing. Third thing is beloved Cynthia G. Come in.
Now, he was responding to a guy earlier in the chat. I don't want to go back and do too much clip jumping, but the guy basically said, as you heard him say, I'm not going to protect a woman who's liberated, which I take as him saying I'm not going to protect a woman that I don't have authority over, which I feel is completely accurate. Now, when you hear Dean Cole speak, one of the things he said was basically, I'm a man, so I have to live up to that standard no matter what, which is the problem in the situation what the guy was actually speaking about. Now, to get an example is basically, let's look at example of like the typical give your chair up for a woman, etc. Right? If let's say women, it's a rule to give for a random guy to give a random woman, his seat or his, whatever, just basically, be chivalrous and give her that seat or hold that door open or whatever. But in the same scenario, that liberated woman, you can't, if you were to tell her, I don't like the way you're acting, I don't like the way you're speaking, I don't like the way you're dressing, etc., the response would be, well, who the fuck are you? You're not any authority over me, etc., etc. So in that case, it's, I can totally dismiss you when I feel like it, but yet I still have you in my back pocket for when it's necessary for me in that specific situation to have a seat. Now, they were speaking on a clip where the guy defended a woman from a white guy. So to use that example, let's say in a scenario where you can't tell a woman not to be in a certain place. Men collectively just can't tell women that they have the total freedom to do whatever it is that they want. But yet, if they ignore certain demands, it's still, you have to be a man, and no matter what, whether they want to admit it or not, which is basically saying whether they want to follow the rules or not, we are still obligated to do our job. Now, let's think about how unfair and how unbalanced that is. You're basically saying every man in the world, well, let's keep it to America, every man is responsible for every woman, but he's not, have any authority over what every woman does. Now, if you want, I'm pretty sure the response is, well, do you have to have authority over women you don't know? I mean, who are you? Blah, blah, blah. But let's think about how that is. Why would you put yourself in a situation to be responsible for somebody who can get you into any kind of trouble or any kind of situation that they please? Which means, imagine going to a casino with somebody else's money, which is basically what you get to do when somebody must protect you at all times, despite your actions. So I'm going to go to a next clip to further to alleviate this point. All right, so I've jumped over to this video of this lady who I forget her name, but I'll put a link in the description. but she's a perfect example of the classic protect us but don't control us or hold us accountable. And I jumped to the point of the video where she was reading comments of a video, and I'll just be taking certain portions of this video.
And so it sparked like this large conversation amongst everybody inside my comment section about basically fuck boys and bums and good men. And as I'm reading everybody's comments, I said, oh my God, I really have to express my opinion. I said, here's what I don't get. Black men want to be leaders. You all want to be treated like kings. However, you all refuse to take responsibility for your own people. If black women need a hug, a scale, and a mirror, and we're narcissists, that means you have failed to lead your women. You all do not take responsibility.
Again, how can you lead someone you have no control over? I don't understand how that is misunderstood and how not understood at all. You cannot lead something you can't control. You have no power over. We collectively have no power over you. Now, I'm not saying you totally just give us power, but you should understand that you have to pick one. Your freedom or your being protected. You can't get, it's impossible to get both. There's no balance with both of those. You have to pick one.
Nor do you praise women who are doing the right thing, but you'll support and praise fuckboys who are playing.
What is the right thing? When you have total free choice to do whatever you want, what is the right thing? If you're saying that getting married and having kids and being with the same guy is the right thing, we kind of, I can't really even tell you how many of those I've seen. Now, granted, I live in an area where marriage is like nil, but again, we can't praise something we don't see.
Women. That's why so many of you do it. All I see black men doing is bitching and complaining about the women are doing things wrong. So focused on them. Then wonder why y'all can't find a decent black woman. Maybe if you took responsibility for the lost, injured women that you failed and start praising more women who are doing the right thing, then maybe you wouldn't have anything to complain about. Black men are negative, cruel, selfish, abusive. I can go on and on, but what good is any of that doing for either gender? Stop bitching and listen to women tell you who we are, and maybe, just maybe, more women will want to improve for you. Continue to be...
Improve for us. If we tell you what it is we want, if we tell you what it is we like, if you don't want to do it, you'll just say why you won't do it, or that you don't have to do it because you can do whatever you want. This is the problem. You can't dismiss your role in it. If you want to do what you want to do, that's what you're going to do. If you want to sleep around with dudes who already have 7 baby mamas, that's what you're going to do. There's nothing we can do but bitch and moan when you say, now, black men, you start calling us all kinds of names. All we can do is binge moan and say, well, yeah, look at the ones you get pregnant by. What else do you want?
Complaining pieces of shit, and no one will want to be their best version of themselves for you. None of us are perfect.
And why does it have to be for us? Why can't anybody be the best version of themselves for themselves, man or woman? Why can that makes absolutely no sense. You can only be your best you when people are giving you applause for it. It's kind of self-criminating.
Instead of addressing women, start addressing other men for their fuckery. See, I've said this before. I've said that black men...
Addressing other men for what they do. Let's think about how that will work. We can't address you and tell you prior to that this guy is a piece of crap. This guy has no values, no principles. Probably shouldn't sleep with that guy. Probably shouldn't be in a relationship with that guy. Probably shouldn't associate with that guy in any kind of way. You have and you will say, you have the right to and you will say, fuck you, to get out of my business. You're not my father. So now when that guy does what we told you he's going to do, play you, probably get you pregnant, leave you doing whatever, leave you hanging. Now you want us to check him. Isn't it too late at that point? What are we going to do? Beat his ass and make him do something? Make him be a father? Why? We gave you the out. We can't control you, but now we're going to control him. Why can't you just... That doesn't make any sense. Because we're still protecting you in your best interest. You become a single mom, now we have to do whatever to him to help you when we were trying to help you in the first place.
And want to be considered leaders of the Black community when something that they believe is positive is happening. They'll take accountability for stuff like that. But at the same time, when there are women out there who are...
When? What have we taken credit for that was positive in the Black community? When was the last time anybody pointed out anything positive in the Black community? I can't even think of the time that happened. When people go to college, when people become engineers, when was the last time anybody pointed out ever that something positive has happened in the Black community?
Educated, who are financially stable, who are doing the right thing, those women don't get praised. We see more complaints and negativity. It's glamorized. You guys put so much focus on it. Women are...
Complaints and negativity glamorized. Negativity is not glamorization. It's the opposite. It's condemnation. How do you see it as glamorization?
Guys put so much focus on it. Women are out here like, yo, they're going to talk about me anyway, so I'm just going to do my thing. Whether I'm good or bad, they're always going to think I'm bad anyway. And if you...
That goes back to her point before, which is I can't be good I can't do the right thing because you're not going to give me applause or standing ovation. This reasoning means that your default character is not that good. It means your default character is, without class, trashy, or whatever it is that you're doing. And if that is your admission, then you kind of can't blame people for saying that you are a problem. It's true. You are self-incriminating yourself and saying that I'm default trash.
And if you want to be considered a leader, or if you want to be considered a king, you do have to still take in consideration the women that you have failed, or the men that you know who have failed women.
The only women that a man can fail is his wife, his daughter, and his mother. So if a guy knocks up a chick, that they are kind of just trash. They kind of failed each other. They kind of failed as a whole. Yeah, he's not a king. You got pregnant by somebody who wasn't, and I really hate this wording, king and queen, that we use. It gives people a false idea of themselves. But, to keep it whatever she's saying, you got pregnant by somebody who wasn't a king. Isn't that your fault? You can't even blame him because he's not a king, right? Doesn't that defeat your point? He isn't a king, but yet you got pregnant by him. You had this, you want to call it a bum or a fuck nigga? You had his baby. You did this. So, no, that king didn't fail you. A bum did.
Got to stop faking the funk. You guys have friends within your close proximity that have played women, and you've allowed it to happen. You haven't...
I allowed it to happen? I allowed a grown-ass man to exercise his free will with a grown-ass woman who has her free will to be fuck-ups. Again, if y'all want this whole you guys are leaders thing, I know this isn't a popular opinion, but you kind of have to sacrifice or give up certain rights. And I know for a fact that y'all don't want to do that. Because y'all don't even trust us. Y'all don't want to do it. So just live with your decisions. Because you can't hold us accountable for something you aren't willing to even give up. You're not our responsibility because we don't control you. Right? Stop calling us leaders if we don't control you. And if you want to make a joke about, yeah, y'all not leaders, ha ha, okay. But like just like this lady, y'all single mother, so ha ha what? You're accountable for yourself. Men collectively are not. You make your decisions.
A woman does something, you know, you got all of this opinion about it. If she does something negative, if she makes a mistake, you guys will chastise a woman for something she did ages ago that had nothing to do with you. And even if this woman has improved with time, maybe she's gotten her education, maybe she's gotten a new job, maybe she isn't even a single mother, maybe she slept around or something like that. Men don't allow women to have any type of mistakes. Lil Young.
I don't see what having a new job has anything to do with the point you were making, but as far as saying criticizing what women do is in their mistakes, what is the common thing on this social media or YouTube thing that women say about men? We not shit, we don't do this, we don't take care of our kids, blah blah blah. And we kind of tell you, well, we do, except that y'all kind of pick the ones who don't. That's the common thing. How do y'all skip over that point? If by the mass numbers, y'all constantly get with guys who aren't shit and look at the point you said, maybe she slept around. Sleeping around with whoever, and whether you're pregnant or not, but most of y'all get pregnant. And then you put this, whether you get pregnant or not, you put this label on men saying that we don't do this and we don't do that, we're no good. Well, maybe if you were a better judge of character and attempted to be a better judge of character, have better principles about yourself, you wouldn't have that viewpoint. Or even if you had that viewpoint, how do you sleep around with a bunch of people you think ain't shit? I don't get it. I don't understand that logic.
As a king, as a leader, you gotta say, you know, some of the black women inside of my community have been failed. Majority of them have in regards to leadership.
I'm not gonna keep going over this leadership time and time again. So from now on, whenever she brings it up, I'm just glossing over it. You know my stance.
Now let's talk about leadership here. Black women want to be led, I promise you. But no.
Are you willing to give up some of your rights? Because you, as I stated, you do. It doesn't go beyond that point. Because you can't have total freedom and be protected. There's an exchange that happens. I know y'all like to overlook that constantly, but there is an exchange there. All right. My safety, my health, myself, the way I gotta protect myself, you don't just get that free. It doesn't happen that way. All right.
Black woman wants to be led in a direction where she's going nowhere. No black woman wants to be led into poverty.
Then why do you get pregnant if you're already there? How do you get out of poverty if you have a baby when you're already broke? So if you're a single mom because you slept with a guy who at the very beginning showed you signs of not being somebody who's going to be there, you kind of cannot say that you don't want to be led into poverty because that's the choice you made. You said, this guy is going to lead me to poverty. Let me allow him. Stop saying this statement if your actions don't match.
What's happening 9 times out of 10 is men want to be treated like a king, but you guys don't have a king's ransom. You don't have a king's mindset. You don't have a king's anything, but you.
Then why do they have women? If you know this, why do you only know this after you get pregnant? Is that the only time you know this? How do you sleep around with people who you think this way about?
Want to be treated like one. I've said this inside of a video before. If a woman is coming to the table with steak and potatoes, you have got to come to the table with the equivalent. You can't come with a ketchup packet. You can't come with a ketchup packet and expect for everything to just be peachy keen. No, dude, it don't even work like that. Aim higher. You don't hit a home run without a big swing. A lot of women are looking for permanence in their life, and men are very, very consistent, especially
Says a woman who talks about sleeping around.
Black men, because economically they have their own issues to deal with. Women, we have our own issues to deal with as well. Depending upon what area that you're from, you're going to experience a specific type of woman. Some black men might not even approach me because of some experiences they have had with another woman. I've told women before, a lot of their behaviors reflect badly on an entire gender, and using sexual promiscuity to get ahead has set a lot of black women back a couple of decades. Women are out here using their sexuality to get money when they really don't have to. You don't have to use men for that anymore. You don't have to be Little Miss Thought-A-Lot to get some money around here. Black men be trying to ride all in with the trumpets blowing on top of his stallion. You're like, oh my God, King, Prince Charming, you finally came.
I understand what she's saying the mistakes on the women, kind of glad. But how do you know that these are mistakes that you made? Basically saying you fall for the guy who's a fake on the regular basis and just completely ignore them in one whole clip, though. We acknowledge the guy who does that. We tell you that's the guy you shouldn't mess with, but yet here you are admitting that this is what you do.
And you come to find out he's hiding all these secrets that he didn't decide to tell you until 6 to 12 months down the line when you already invested a little bit of your energy into him. Damn it, this clown. Damn it, this clown.
You mean you got pregnant? It's usually what that means.
For you. Not every relationship is going to be one big Christmas morning. And a lot of men walk away from relationships thinking they're supposed to be perfect. Men want perfection out of the women that
I hope after this she says women too, because that's totally both-sided.
they're dating, but they don't necessarily polish their own behavior. A lot of men use social media to express their opinions like they're on some type of moral crusade for their...
I hope after this she says women too. I hope after that she says women too.
Gender, but don't walk the walk in real life. Usually the first people who are always critical about you are the ones who need way more improvement than they're allowing others to believe. Not all black women are aiming to be the better versions of themselves. I know for me, I'm always sitting here trying to improve the best way that I can. But you got black women out here singing, "'Tis the season to be wretched, fa la 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 la." Men are on their best behavior until the hangover fades. And when you guys sit here and complain about hair and nails and fake this and fake that, I'm looking like, please. Me having my natural hair is not making a man look at me any harder than he would look at me if I didn't have it. When I'm wearing my blowout, men look at me. When I'm not wearing my blowout, men...
Translation. Don't worry about what the fuck I'm doing. See? Don't worry about what I'm doing because I'm gonna do what the fuck I want. Protect me, though.
Look at me. You don't have to be non-GMO in order to get a man. There's plenty of women walking out here with amazing husbands who have weave and wear makeup. Come on. How you trying to be a king and you making 3 figures a month? Newsflash. Fellas, we want to be led. We want to be loved. We want to be respected.
Except when you tell me to take off my hair.
And we want to give you that same love and appreciation in return. We want to give understanding. We want to allow you to make mistakes. We want to help you improve your life. But you have to get this false premise out your mind that we don't want to be led. We just want to be led by someone who is stronger than us, by someone who we can trust with our lives. A lot of women have got to be strong nowadays because we have been deprived. We've had to go out here and get that bread. Let me tell you about the woman that you're looking at right now, okay? I have 2 full-time jobs. My only day off is Sunday, and during this Sunday, what I'm doing? Making a video, getting my paper. So right now, I have 5 sources of income. But it doesn't mean I don't want to be led. It doesn't mean that I don't want a man to protect me. Just because I gotta be strong and get up and work days when I'm tired doesn't mean that I don't want a man to leash me. Yeah, I got this under control, but if a man wants to come along and say, "Hey baby, I want to rub your feet tonight or your back tonight, or I want to give you a bath, or you know what, quit one of these jobs. Let me handle this for you. Let me help you improve, mama." What?
quit one of these jobs and let me handle this for you. Okay, what if you said quit both and we'll live off my 40K, right? You and your kid. You, him, and your kid. Are y'all going for that? Because that ain't going to buy no hair that you don't want to give up. So are you want to be led, or do you just want to be led by a specific kind of guy who still allows you to pretty much do whatever it is you want, even though you're supposed to be being led?
All for it. Let's talk about bums and baby daddies. Never in a million years, never in a million years would I have thought my son's father would turn out to be the type of man that would have me sit here and raise my son alone. I don't think any single mother is thinking that way. There's plenty of single mothers out there who have 5 and 6 and 7 baby daddies. You know, that's just irresponsible. But here I am with one bad baby daddy, and it's heavy. Oh, and when we was together, he was on his best behavior, you believe it. So I never would have guessed he would have been this ignorant and ghetto, with no empathy, no compassion, and no care for his own flesh and blood. No.
Were y'all married before? Because you didn't say ex-husband. So, if y'all wasn't married before, how can you make the point about the king and queen and all that crap? Because you didn't wait till he made you one, did you? But you want to be led. Not into poverty. When him leaving you a single mom could just about lead you into poverty. Don't know your situation, but it could. So are you sure you want to be led outside of poverty or wherever?
Woman is thinking a man is going to be this way. But as a man, instead of you focusing on the idea of me being a single mother, as a man, you need to go to this man and say, hey, what would make you not want to take care of your own blood? Forget what you and this woman got going on. You got to look.
If I can approach you prior to, until you don't get pregnant by this guy, why am I obligated to then tell him afterwards to fix it? Why am I obligated to help you afterwards if I can't help you prior to?
Guys are saying, hey, ladies, it's bad women out there. Forget that. You just avoid these bad men. No, what you need to do as a man, you need to go to these bad.
Right there. We can't tell you of not to be with dudes who don't take care of their kids. But we do have to be there to then tell those dudes who we know were this way, that we told you were this way, to not be this way. Let's not avoid the problem, but yet deal with the problem. Don't drive over potholes, but let me help you change your tire because you ignored me.
Men and explain to them why they need leadership, why there's no reason for them to be a bad man, why they should be able to do better, why they need to improve. That's what you need to focus your energy on, and let the women handle the women. Let us women say to other women, okay, this is how you improve your behavior.
How is that leading you? How is that leading you if we're not addressing you? I think that's in her video, so I'm done.